Hello, and welcome to English Unlocked, the podcast created for people just like you, people who dream of speaking English with confidence, with ease, and with real joy. People who are tired of feeling stuck and are finally ready to move forward. My name is Ryan, and I am so genuinely happy that you are here with me today. Let me say that again. I am really glad you showed up. Because showing up is the first step, and the fact that you are listening right now tells me something important about you. It tells me that you are serious, it tells me that you are motivated, and it tells me that you are ready to make a real change. Throughout this episode, I will be speaking slowly and clearly. I want every word to reach you comfortably, so please take your time. Pause whenever you need to think. Rewind whenever you want to hear something again, and most importantly, repeat after me whenever I invite you to. Your voice matters. Your practice matters. Every single sentence you speak out loud brings you one step closer to fluency. Now, before we get into today's content, I want to ask you something personal. When you imagine yourself speaking English fluently, really fluently, what does that look like? Maybe you're having a smooth, easy conversation with someone from another country. Maybe you're giving a presentation at work and everyone understands you perfectly. Maybe you're watching your favorite English movie without subtitles and catching every single word. Maybe you're traveling somewhere new and asking for directions without any fear or hesitation.
Whatever your vision is, hold on to it, because that vision is possible. It is absolutely within your reach. And today, we are going to talk about exactly how to get there, step by step, day by day. So, what is today's episode about? Today, we are going to answer one of the most common and most important questions that English learners ask me. How do I practice English every single day, especially when my life is already so busy? This is a question I hear all the time, and I completely understand why. Life is full. Work, family, school, responsibilities, they all compete for your time and your energy. At the end of a long day, the last thing you want to do is sit down with a heavy grammar textbook and study for 2 hours. And here is the good news. You do not need to do. You do not need to move to the United States or the United Kingdom. You do not need a native English speaker living next door. You do not need to spend your evenings buried in worksheets and vocabulary lists. What you need, and what I'm going to give you today, are simple, smart, and practical habits that fit naturally into the life you already have. Small habits, consistent habits, habits that feel easy to maintain. Habits that slowly, steadily, and powerfully transform the way you speak, think, and feel in English. Are you ready? Let's go. Part 1. Understanding the power of echo learning. Before we talk about daily habits, I want to introduce you to a learning technique that is going to become one of your most valuable tools. It is called echo learning. You may have heard of something similar called shadowing, but I like to call it echo learning because it captures exactly what you are doing. You are creating an echo of the English you hear.
Here is how echo learning works. You listen to someone speaking English, like me, right now, in this very moment, and you repeat what they say as accurately as possible. You match their words, you match their speed, you match the tone, you match the music of their voice. You are not stopping to translate, you are not opening a dictionary, you are not analyzing the grammar. You are simply absorbing the sound of real English and sending it back out through your own voice like an echo bouncing off a wall. This might sound simple, and in a way it is, but do not let the simplicity fool you. Echo learning is one of the most powerful techniques used by language learners all over the world, and there is a very good reason for that. When you echo what you hear, something remarkable happens inside your brain. Your brain starts to recognize the patterns of English, the way words connect, the way sentences flow, the natural rise and fall of the language. At the same time, your mouth, your tongue, your lips, and your jaw start building new muscle memory. They start learning how English feels physically, not just mentally. This combination of mental recognition and physical practice is incredibly powerful. It is the reason why echo learning produces results so much faster than traditional studying alone. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be thinking, Ryan, what if I don't understand every word I hear? What if the speaker goes too fast for me?
And my answer to that is completely okay. Echo learning is not about understanding every single word perfectly. It is about training your system, your brain, your ears, your mouth to work together in English. Understanding comes with time, but the training, that starts right now. Let's practice together. I am going to say a sentence, and right after I finish, I want you to say it out loud, not in your head, out loud. Use your real voice. Ready? I am committed to improving my English every single day. Now you say it. Go ahead. Even when it feels difficult, I keep going because I know it is worth it. Your turn. Say it out loud. Echo learning is helping my brain and my mouth work together in English. One more time. Say it now. How did that feel? Maybe a little strange? Maybe a little uncomfortable? That is a good sign. It means your brain is working. It means you are pushing past your comfort zone, and that's exactly where growth happens. The more you practice echo learning, even 5 minutes a day, the more natural it will feel. Your speaking will become smoother, your pronunciation will become clearer, your confidence will grow in ways you might not expect. And here's something really beautiful about this technique. You can do it anywhere. You can echo while you're walking to the bus stop. You can echo while you're making breakfast. You can echo while you're getting ready in the morning. Every single moment becomes a chance to practice. Part 2. The 5 core habits for daily English practice. Now we are going to get into the heart of today's episode. I am going to share with you 5 core habits for practicing English every single day. These are not complicated. They are not time-consuming. They are designed for real people living real lives. People who are busy, people who feel shy, people who are just getting started, and people who have been learning for years. Take these habits and make them your own. Start with one if you need to. Add another when you feel ready. But whatever you do, be consistent. Consistency is the secret ingredient that turns ordinary habits into extraordinary results. Core habit number 1. Listen to English every single day, without exception. Let me be very clear about this one. If there is one habit that I want you to walk away with today, just one, it is this. Listen to English every single day. Not 5 days a week, not when you feel motivated, not only during your English class, every single day. I want to explain why this is so important, because I think when you understand the reason, you will feel much more motivated to actually do it. Your brain is an incredibly powerful pattern recognition machine. When you expose it to English regularly, when you let it hear the sounds, the rhythms, the structures, and the vocabulary of the language on a daily basis, it begins to build an internal model of how English works. It starts to recognize patterns automatically. It starts to predict what words come next in a sentence. It starts to process the language faster and faster. But this only happens with consistent, regular exposure. If you listen to English once a week, your brain gets a small dose of input and then forgets most of it before the next session. But if you listen every day, even for just 10 or 15 minutes, your brain gets a continuous, steady flow of English that it can work with, organize, and store. Think of it like watering a plant. If you water it once a week, it might survive. But if you water it a little bit every day,
It thrives, it grows strong and healthy. Your English is exactly the same. Now here is the really exciting part. You do not need to set aside special time for this habit. You can fold it into things you are already doing every day. Are you commuting to work or school? Listen to an English podcast on the way. Are you cooking dinner? Play an English YouTube video in the background. Are you going for a walk or exercising? Put on an English audiobook or a short English story. Are you cleaning the house? Turn on an English radio station or a podcast about a topic you enjoy. The key is to choose content that genuinely interests you. If you love cooking, find English cooking channels. If you are passionate about technology, look for English tech podcasts. If you enjoy travel, there are dozens of English travel shows and vlogs out there. When the content excites you, listening stops feeling like studying and starts feeling like entertainment. And that makes it so much easier to do every single day. You do not need to understand every word. You do not need to understand half the words, honestly. Just let the English wash over you. Let your ears get used to the sounds. Let your brain start picking up the patterns. Over time, and it will happen faster than you think, your comprehension will grow. 10 to 15 minutes a day is a wonderful starting point. If you can do more, great. If some days you can only manage 5 minutes, that is still 5 minutes more than nothing. The goal is to never let a full day pass without some English entering your ears. Make English the background music of your life. Core habit number 2, speak out loud. Every day, no excuses. This is the habit that many learners avoid, and I completely understand why. Speaking feels vulnerable. Speaking means putting yourself out there. Speaking means making mistakes where someone, or even just you yourself, might hear them. But here is the truth that I need you to hear. You cannot become a confident English speaker without actually speaking English. There's no shortcut around this. Listening builds your understanding. Reading builds your vocabulary. But speaking, actual, out loud, using your real voice speaking, is what builds your fluency. And here's the beautiful thing. You do not need anyone else to practice speaking. You can do it completely alone. After you listen to a sentence or a short piece of audio, repeat it out loud. Say it clearly. Say it with the same rhythm you heard. Say it again if you want to. This is the echo learning we talked about earlier, but now applied to your daily speaking habit. Beyond echo learning, start narrating your own life in English. When you wake up in the morning, say out loud, "Good morning. Today is going to be a great day. I slept well and I feel rested." When you are getting dressed, say, "I think I will wear my blue shirt today. It looks nice." When you are making breakfast, say, "I am going to make some toast and eggs. I am pretty hungry this morning." These sentences are simple. They are not impressive. They are not complicated, but they are doing something incredibly important. They are training your brain to reach for English automatically without having to stop and translate from your native language first. And when you are ready, go beyond narration. Start talking to yourself in longer stretches. Describe what you see around you. Talk about your plans for the day. Retell a story you heard or read recently. Explain a topic you know well in English. Give yourself a little presentation about anything at all. You might feel a little silly at first. That is okay. Every language learner who has ever become fluent has gone through this stage. The silliness fades. The confidence grows. And one day, you will realize that the words are coming out smoothly and naturally without effort. And that feeling is one of the best feelings in the world. I am not afraid of making mistakes because mistakes are how I learn. Your turn. Every time I open my mouth and speak, my confidence grows a little more. Go ahead, say it now. Practice those sentences again tonight. Practice them tomorrow morning. Practice them in the shower, in the car, on the bus, wherever you are. Make speaking a daily physical habit, just like brushing your teeth. Core habit number 3, train your brain to think in English. This habit is a little different from the others. It does not require any special materials. It does not cost any time. It happens entirely inside your own mind. Start thinking in English. I know, at first this sounds difficult. Right now, when something happens in your life, your brain processes it in your native language. That is natural. That is what your brain has been doing for your entire life. But with a little practice, you can start to rewire that process. You can train your brain to reach for English first. Here is how to begin. Start with the smallest, simplest thoughts, the ones that happen automatically throughout your day. When your alarm goes off in the morning, instead of thinking your usual thought in your native language, try thinking, "My alarm is ringing. I need to get up. I really do not want to, but I have to."
When you look out the window, it looks cold outside today. I should wear something warm. When you sit down to eat, this smells really good. I am so hungry right now. When you finish a task at work, finally, that took longer than I expected. I'm glad it's done. None of these thoughts are complicated. None of them require advanced vocabulary, but every single one of them is training your brain to bypass the translation step, to go directly from experience to English without stopping in your native language along the way. This is what fluent speakers do. They do not think in their native language and then translate. They think directly in the language they are speaking. And the way to build that ability is exactly this: one small thought at a time, every single day.
As you get more comfortable, push yourself to think in longer stretches. Try to think through your entire morning routine in English. Try to plan your day in English inside your head. Try to describe a problem you are dealing with in English, as if you were explaining it to a friend. And when you feel ready, when you feel comfortable enough, start saying these thoughts out loud. Whisper them to yourself. Mutter them quietly. Say them in a soft voice. It does not matter how loud or quiet you are. What matters is that you are connecting your English thoughts to your English voice. This habit, practiced every day, will produce a transformation in your speaking that will honestly surprise you. Core habit number 4, read English out loud every day. Many learners read English silently, and that is a good start. But today I want to encourage you to take it one important step further. Read English out loud. When you read silently, your brain processes the words visually. When you read out loud, something much more powerful happens. Your brain processes the words visually, then converts them into sound, then sends signals to your mouth, tongue, and lips to produce that sound. Then, your ears hear the sound and send it back to your brain for processing again. It is a full loop, visual, physical, and auditory, all happening at once. This multi-channel processing is one of the reasons reading aloud is such an effective practice for language learners. It activates more of your brain, it builds more connections, it produces faster and more durable results. So, what should you read aloud? The answer is anything you enjoy. A short article about a topic that interests you, a paragraph from a novel written for learners, a dialogue from a textbook, a script from a YouTube video you like, a children's story, a recipe, a news summary. It genuinely does not matter, as long as you enjoy it enough to stay engaged. Here is how to get the most out of this habit. First, read the passage slowly and carefully. Focus on pronouncing each word as clearly as you can. Do not rush. Take your time with the sounds. Second, read it again at a slightly more natural pace. Let the words flow a little more freely. Do not stop to correct every tiny mistake, just keep going and maintain the rhythm. Third, read it one more time with full expression. Imagine you are an actor performing the scene. Imagine you are a teacher explaining something to a classroom. Imagine you are a storyteller bringing a tale to life. Put emotion into your voice. Vary your speed. Let yourself be expressive. This three-step process, slow, natural, expressive, will accelerate your progress remarkably. Your pronunciation will sharpen, your fluency will grow, and your comfort with the sound of your own voice speaking English will increase every single day. Just 5 to 10 minutes of reading aloud per day is enough to make a real difference. It is like a workout for your speaking muscles. And just like any workout, the more consistently you show up, the stronger you get. Core habit number 5. Bring English into your everyday environment. This is the habit that ties everything together. This is the habit that transforms English from something you practice into something you live. Let me explain what I mean. Many learners treat English like a subject. It is something they study on Tuesday evenings. It lives in a notebook on their desk. It happens during class and nowhere else. And as a result, their progress is slow. Not because they are not intelligent or not hard-working, but because their exposure to English is too limited and too infrequent. The learners who make the fastest progress are the ones who surround themselves with English. They do not just study English, they live inside it. English is on their phone, in their home, in their daily routines, in their entertainment, in their social life. English is everywhere they look and everywhere they turn. You can create that same environment for yourself no matter where you live. Here's how. Step 1. Switch your phone to English. This is one of the easiest and most effective things you can do right now, today, before this episode is even over. Go into your phone settings and change the display language to English. Why does this matter so much? Because you pick up your phone constantly throughout the day. Research suggests that the average person checks their phone between 80 and 100 times every single day. That means 80 to 100 small moments where you are seeing and reading English words. Words like notifications, storage, airplane mode, do not disturb, recently deleted, manage subscriptions, screen time, and battery percentage. These are not complicated words, but seeing them dozens of times every day embeds them in your memory effortlessly. You do not study them, you do not drill them. You just see them again and again until they become completely natural. This is passive learning at its best, learning that happens without effort, simply through repeated exposure. Step 2. Keep a short daily journal in English. Every evening, take 5 minutes and write in English. That is all, 5 minutes. 3 to 5 sentences about your day. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just honest, simple writing about what happened, how you felt, and what you were thinking about. Here are some examples of what this might look like. Today, I woke up late and had to rush to work. I was stressed in the morning, but felt better after lunch. My colleagues had something funny that made me laugh a lot. It rained all day today. I stayed inside and watched an English show on TV. I understood more than I expected, and that made me really happy. I had a conversation in English today for the first time in a while. It was a little nerve-wracking, but I got through it. I am proud of myself for trying. Simple, real, personal. This kind of writing does 3 powerful things at once. It builds your sentence structure, it expands your vocabulary naturally, and it gives you a record of your own progress that you can look back on over time. Step 3. Record yourself speaking for 60 seconds every day. At the end of your day, before bed, or whenever works best for you, pick up your phone and record yourself talking in English for 60 seconds, just 1 minute. You can talk about anything. Your day, something you learned, a plan you are excited about, a memory that came to mind, a problem you were thinking through. anything at all.
The recording is just for you. Nobody else ever has to hear it. But when you listen back, and please do listen back, you will hear yourself in a way that is very different from how you feel in the moment. You will hear your pronunciation. You will hear your pacing. You will hear the words you reach for naturally and the moments where you get stuck. You will notice patterns in your speech, both the strong patterns and the ones you want to improve. This self-awareness is one of the most powerful accelerators of language learning. When you can hear clearly what you do well and what you want to work on, your progress becomes targeted and intentional. You stop practicing randomly and start practicing purposefully. And over weeks and months, when you listen to recordings from 30 days ago, 60 days ago, 90 days ago, you will hear your progress with your own ears. And that feeling of hearing how far you have come is one of the most powerful motivations to keep going. Step 4. Find an English community online. One of the most wonderful things about living in the modern world is that you can connect with people anywhere on the planet from wherever you are sitting right now. And for English learners, this is a tremendous gift. There are communities of English learners online everywhere you look. Language exchange apps where you can find conversation partners, WhatsApp groups where learners support each other, Telegram channels full of vocabulary tips and practice prompts, Facebook groups where people share their progress and ask questions, Discord servers where people chat in real time in English about topics they love. Find one of these communities, or several of them, and start participating. Write a message, reply to someone else's post, send a voice note, ask a question you've been wondering about, share something you learned today. Even reading what other learners write is valuable practice. Seeing how other people construct sentences, express ideas, and communicate in English teaches you things that no textbook can. And knowing that you are part of a community of people on the same journey as you, that is genuinely encouraging. Step 5. Use short videos for listening and speaking practice. Short video content, YouTube clips, educational reels, mini documentaries, language learning videos, is one of the most powerful and enjoyable English learning tools available to you right now, and it is completely free. Find videos on topics that genuinely interest you. Watch them through once to enjoy the content, then watch again, this time focusing on the language, the sentence structures, the vocabulary, the pronunciation of specific words. Then pause the video and repeat the sentences you hear. Copy the speaker's energy, match their rhythm, imitate their intonation. Even a 20-second clip can give you 5 minutes of rich practice if you use it the right way. And because you are choosing content you actually enjoy, this never feels like homework. It feels like entertainment that also happens to make you better at English. Part 3. Making it all work. The big picture. We have covered a lot of ground today. Echo learning, 5 core habits, specific practical strategies for building English into every part of your daily life. But before I let you go, I want to step back and share the big picture with you, because techniques and habits are wonderful, but they only work when they are powered by the right mindset. Here is the mindset I want you to carry with you. English is not something you are studying. English is something you are becoming. This is a subtle shift, but it changes everything. When you think of English as something you are studying, it feels like an obligation. It feels like a task on your to-do list. It feels like something you have to do before you can do the things you actually want to do. But when you think of English as something you are becoming, as a part of who you are, as a natural extension of your voice and your identity, it starts to feel completely different. It feels like growth. It feels like possibility. It feels like an adventure. Change your phone to English. You are becoming someone who lives in English. Write in your journal tonight. You are becoming someone who thinks in English. Record your voice note before bed. You are becoming someone whose English voice gets stronger every day. Find your online community. You are becoming someone who connects with the world through English. Repeat after me every time I say a sentence in this podcast. You are becoming someone who sounds natural,
confident, and fluent. None of these individual actions are dramatic. None of them take more than a few minutes. But together, practiced consistently, day after day after day, they add up to something that is genuinely remarkable. They add up to a completely transformed relationship with the English language. You do not have to be perfect. You never have to be perfect. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Consistent, steady, daily progress. So start today. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when things slow down or when you have more time. Today. Say one sentence out loud right now. Change your phone language tonight. Write 3 sentences in your journal before bed. Record 60 seconds of your voice. Do one thing today that moves you forward. Because every single step matters. Every sentence you speak matters. Every minute you spend immersed in English matters. And every day that you show up for your English, even imperfectly, even when you do not feel like it, even when it is just 10 minutes, is a day that you are building the fluency you have always wanted. I believe in you. I really do. And I am so proud of you for being here today. This is Ryan, and this has been episode 1 of English Unlocked. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, keep listening, keep speaking, keep growing. You've got this.